What's up, YouTube? Dude Brown, Nerd Nation, how you guys doing today? I'm be bringing you the first deck profile of the month. As far as collecting nerds, we are keeping it with a Halloween theme, scary, spooky, deadly, all that good stuff. So today I will actually be doing a deck profile over one of my personal favorite archetypes or decks, I would say, Ghost Tricks. I put a lot of thought and money and stuff like that into this deck. It's a fun deck to play. This deck that I'm going to show you is not like a tournament ready deck, I would say. It's more of a fun deck to play with your buddies kind of deal. You want to annoy them the old school kind of way. So stay tuned, get the song going. Again, it's just a fun deck to play. It's not something I would probably take tournament wise. It's not link ready, but it's just something fun to annoy people with. Yeah, so started off, I do have Ghost Trick Yuki Onna. I do run her at 1. Basically her, whenever she gets attacked, the monster that attacked her goes to defense for the rest of the duel. For those who don't know, Ghost Tricks, you can't really normal summon them, you have to set them. And then flip summon them the next turn, and then you can start normally summoning the Ghost Tricks regularly. It's a pretty interesting format as far as playing them, but I think it's really cool. So next I have Ghost Trick Spectre. Ghost Trick Spectre is something, he's kind of like in the way one of your searchers. So when one of your Ghost Trick monsters gets destroyed, you send to the graveyard, you special summon him, face down defense, and you draw a card. So that helps you as far as, you know, drawing cards. So again, I run him only at 1. It's not really that epic, to would say. Next guy I would say as far as your searcher is Ghost Trick Jingshi. His flip effect is basically when you flip him, depending on how many Ghost Tricks you have on the field face up, that's how many leveled Ghost Trick you can add from deck to hand. So if you have like 2 of them, that'll be a level 2 or lower, or 3 will be a level 3 or lower from deck to hand. So again, that helps you search out the other guys. Another one I run, again, I only run him at 1. So again, it's just some more or less for searching, not a big deal. Next one I have is Ghost Trick Witch. So Ghost Trick Witch targets one monster opponent controls face up and basically puts them face down defense mode to the end of the turn. Again, only run her 1. I mean, because she does target monsters, and nowadays targeting monsters doesn't really help much. They can negate that effect without not affected by it. But it does come clutch as far as, you know, that one card you kind of get annoyed by, and you can just flip it face down and negate its effects. Well, not negate, but stop it from using effects. My next dude in the deck that I love using, and a lot of people hate him, is Ghost Trick Skeleton. So Ghost Trick Skeleton, I do rock on my 3. So Ghost Trick Skeleton, he's the banisher of the deck. You want to have him, you know, face down, and then you have the rest of them. And then depending on how many Ghost Tricks you have on the field face up, that's how many cards you can banish. So essentially you want to have 5 Ghost Tricks, and then plus him, so you originally banished 5 cards from the top of your opponent's deck. And 5 cards per turn, that does make a big impact. So I like rocking him at 3 because I like banishing a lot. Instead of dealing with stuff, I just get it off the game. So whatever. Next guy is Ghost Trick Lancer. I do run him at 2. Ghost Trick Lancer, he's like one of my hand traps. So when my opponent declares an attack directly, basically I special summon him in defense mode, face down, and he would have to attack him again in a sense. So it kind of keeps me alive for another turn if I needs to be, where I have nothing on the field. That'll keep me going. Next favorite one to use is Ghost Chick Neko Musume. So her, basically when her effect is that any level 4 or higher monster that gets summoned to the field or special summoned gets flipped face down automatically. So that would really solve as far as any high level monsters that have like those hardcore effects or big attacks. As soon as they hit the field, they will be face down. So that's normal old special summons. So seeing that doesn't target. So as soon as it hits the field, it's face down. So this does help a lot as far as limiting your opponent to big moves on this next play. Next one is Ghost Trick Doll. To run her at 2. Basically her again is like another searcher, but you special summon to the field. Her effect is whenever at the end of the turn, whenever she's flipped, you flip all other face-up cards plus her to the face down, and depending on how many of those get flipped, that's how the level of the monster you can special summon from the deck. So you flip 5 down, that's a level 5 or lower. You flip 7 down, that's level 7 or lower, so on and so forth. Ghost Trick monster you can special summon face down on the field. So she's useful as far as getting, like, for instance, these Neko Musume out, or getting the skeleton out for banishing like next turn, so on and so forth. So she's pretty cool as far as getting the other ghost streaks out. So I'll only run her at 2. I tried running her at 3, but it does clog up a little bit. Cause I'd rather start banishing stuff than start summoning thing. But she's pretty cool. Now the non-ghost streak cards, well, I guess you would say the support cards. I do rock 1 electromagnetic turtle. Obvious reasons, stable nowadays. Kind of prevents that direct attack and ends the phase, so it kind of keeps you alive for another turn. Fairy Tale Sleeper, because she has a flip effect. Whenever she is flip face up, I can special summon from my hand to the field, and if my opponent activates a magical trap card, I can activate an effect, tribute a card, and then that effect is now flip one of your opponent's monsters face down. So Sleeper does come in clutch a lot of times, especially with the Ghost Streak decks, cross flipping stuff up and down. The other non-Ghost Streak that I run, and this is one of more testing that I did. This is Subterror Behemoth Mastrix. Him I run 2. So this dude is really cool as far as the Ghost Streaks, because he can be special summoned whenever you flip face down one of your monsters, and you have no face up monsters that turn. You can special summon him to the field. So this guy, it's really cool because when he's face down, you face him back up, and you can banish 1 face up card your opponent controls. So that's really nifty as far as, again, banishing stuff off the field that you don't like, something that's annoying you, a monster you can't get over with. Obviously, Ghost Streaks have like little to no attack, so this guy's really cool as far as just banishing off the field. And like I said, it works really perfectly with the Ghost Streak deck because of this flip effect, and the fact you can special summon him. Moving on to the spell cards. Swords of Concealing Light, obvious reasons. I mean, you want everything face down for Ghost Streaks. Foolish Burial, for that electromagnetic turtle, is honestly what I use it for. Book of Moon, for obvious reasons again. I want to face down the monsters on the field. One MST to get rid of some back row. And the prime of the deck is Ghost Streak Mansion. The field cards run at 3. So as you're aware, there's a lot of face down cards on this whenever you're dueling with Ghost Streaks. So this mansion protects your face down card. So if you only have face down monster, your opponent would have to attack directly, but his attack will be half if it's a non-Ghost Streak monster. But if your opponent has all his cards face down, and you can attack directly that turn as well, but since you have a Ghost Streak, the attack is full force. So that does keep you from losing your Ghost Streaks, and again, you keep banishing with skeleton and so on and so forth. So Ghost Streak Mansion is pretty cool. Man, it keeps you alive a little longer, especially if you need that time to bring out your board. Because one thing you have to have noticed, Ghost Streaks don't really recover that well. So it's kind of like, get them early and keep your opponent down. So yeah, Ghost Streak Mansion. There are other Ghost Streak field cards. The other ones I really didn't find too useful in nowadays decks. So Mansion's pretty cool. So moving on to the trap cards. Rock 2 Mistakes. So Mistake is one of the newest ones. So Mistake, basically neither player can add cards from deck to hand. So it does come really clutch as far as opponent wise. Like nowadays cards effects activate, and then you can add cards from your deck to your hand. So Spyros and stuff like that. So that prevents them, so it kind of slows them down in a sense. So they can't do anything but draw into their next card. So Mistake does help a lot. Next card I run is Ghost Streak Knight. So again, since we do a lot of defense face down cards, flipping your opponent's cards face down, so Ghost Streak Knight keeps them face down. So what it does is, initially, as long as you keep a Ghost Streak monster on the field face up, your opponent cannot flip set monsters. So let's say if you have, for instance, Chaos Max face down, you don't want that dude to come back up, you keep him down by having Ghost Streak Knight on the field. And that prevents them, again, flipping monsters, so that's really cool. Gives you that more time. Basic standard, again, Dark Bribe, negates, destroys magic cards, spell cards, trap card that activates, and then draws a card. So stable, takes care of back row kind of deal. Ghost Streak Scare. Ghost Streak Scare, I only rock out 1. Ghost Streak Scare, it does help me sometimes. It does come in clutch as far as, let's say your opponent has a monster in the field that you don't like, it doesn't target, so you can just flip your monsters that you have face up. And depending on how many ghost streaks you flip face up, that's how many monsters your opponent controls that you can flip down. So it can come in handy in case, let's say, you have like skeleton and you have a full row. You can activate this and just banish another 5 from top of his deck after you already banished from your turn. So this is pretty cool. And then again, it'll flip those monsters face down, so you won't be able to attack that turn. So it'll give you another turn to keep going. And then obviously if you have that, you can just activate a Ghost Trick Knight, which I rock at 2. So I'll use Ghost Trick Knight to keep those face down. So yeah, those are pretty cool. I only rock at 1. I had 3, but I noticed that it comes a little too cloggy. One of my favorite cards I like to play, and this one came out in the Dark Illusions, was Floodgate Trapple. It's like really amazing for ghost tricks, because whenever your opponent is normal summons, special summons a monster, you can automatically move face down for the rest of the duel. And it's monster or monster, so include your opponent summons a multitude amount at the same time, you could just flip them all face down for the rest of the duel. Again, ghost tricks, that's kind of what you want. You want to keep your opponent's monsters face down so they don't attack or activate their effect. And you can just go over them with Ghost Trick Mansion and attack directly, kind of deal. So, really fun card to use. I had 3. I might bump up like 3 because it does come in clutch a lot. I want to see this in my hand more often. For the same reason as far as having Ghost Trick Knight on there, or just flipping cards face down and keeping them face down for the rest of the duel. I don't have to worry about them. Obvious reason, bottomless trap hole, just banish stuff. Gravity Bind, since most of his ghost tricks, or not all of them, are actually lower than level 4, Gravity Bind keeps me, actually allows me to keep attacking while it prevents my opponent to attack directly to me or attack me, because it has to be level 4 or higher monsters can attack. So Gravity Bind does come in clutch. Sadly doesn't stop, exceeds, but that's why you have Floodgate Trap Hole to flip those face down, or how do I say, Book of Moon and that kind of stuff, which is banish it out the way. Another cool thing for back row, Heavy Storm Duster. This one just came out in the latest pack. Heavy Storm Duster, again, back row. I think it's going to be staple in a lot of decks nowadays. I run it at 1 because you really only need 1 in this deck. But like I said, I'll see this card being staple in a lot of decks nowadays, but pretty cool card. Ghost Trick Banish. Ghost Trick Banish is pretty cool because it prevents your Ghost Trick monsters or face-on monsters being destroyed or targeted by card effects for that 1 turn. All you have to do is reveal 1 Ghost Trick monster from your hand. And again, it keeps your Ghost Tricks on the field, because one thing I don't like about Ghost Tricks, they don't really recover that well. So keeping on the field is kind of what you want. And then another favorite card is Ghost Trick Go Round. Ghost Trick Go Round comes in clutch really big, as far as, again, keeping your monsters on the field and keeping your opponent's monsters face down. Reason being is, if basically the effect on this one is, if your opponent, during your opponent's battle phase, you can either flip one of your face down Ghost Tricks face up, and then you can target one of their face downs, one of their face ups, and flip it face down. Or if you have a face up Ghost Trick, you can flip one of that face down and then flip one of his face downs face up. So again, it does keep those monsters that's face down, and keeps your Ghost Tricks alive for another turn if need be. And again, it does work well with having the Ghost Trick Knight, as far as keeping it face down with that 1 Ghost Trick you flip face up. Again, you can also activate Ghost Trick effects once you get flipped face up, so that'll be pretty cool as far as that effect. Really handy. Next card I run 2 Ghost Trick Break. Ghost Trick Break, I just recently added into the deck. Basically, if your Ghost Tricks get destroyed, you can special summon any 2 other Ghost Tricks with a different name back to the field. So in a way, it does help them recover in a way, but I run it at 2. I thought about bringing it down to 1. It doesn't really come in clutch that much, but it's useful. And then last but not least, 1 Recall. Recall is actually one of the latest ones as well. Obvious reasons. It's kind of like a Dark Bribe, but for monsters. So you activate effect, negate effect, destroy, they draw a card. So again, it keeps your Ghost Tricks alive for a little bit longer and stop those pesky cards like Omega or any of these new links. So yeah, so that's basically it for the main deck. So moving on to the extra deck. Extra deck, we don't have much, like I said, just the basics on there. Because like I said, this is not something that I would run tournament wise. Something just locally fun to play and just annoy people with. Starting off with obvious Ghost Trick, Angel of Mischief, or Rock 2. She's like, I guess you said, bread and butter of your deck. You want to have her on the field as much as you can. Her effect is you can detach one and add a Ghost Trick Magical Trap card from deck to hand. So you get your mansions, or you can get your merry-go-rounds. So you get your Ghost Tricks, merry-go-rounds, your Ghost Trick Banish just to keep them alive a little bit longer, you know, the Ghost Trick Scare, that kind of stuff. So you'll be able to get the cards back out to your hand from your deck using her. Her other effect is pretty cool because since you are stalling a lot in this deck, as in case you haven't noticed, once she reaches 10 attachments, because once per turn you can either choose to attach a Ghost Trick card to the back of her or detach. So once you attach all 10 to the back of her, you automatically win the duel. So if you can just stall for 10 turns in a way, you almost basically win. Her cool thing also, it does take 2 level 4 monsters, or you can summon her on top of any Ghost Trick Exceed. So that helps as far as bringing her out a little bit faster. So as long as you exceed to any other Ghost Tricks, you could just put her on top and be done with it. The other one I use for the Ghost Tricks is Succubus. So Succubus is really cool. I wish I had more of her, but at the time I only have one. And I like to keep my rarities at the highest as possible. So her, basically you can target any monster on the field, and if its attack is less than the combined attack of all Ghost Tricks, destroy that monster, and the opponent cannot use that card zone anymore. So for her, it only takes 2 level 3 or 2 level 2 to summon her. So again, you can use any of the Ghost Trick, little Ghost Trick women to summon her, the little witches, instead of the actual zombies. Or most of them are zombies, and other ones are going to be the spellcasters. So yeah, so she's pretty cool as far as getting that one card over, and it limits your opponent from using card zones. And again, once you summon her, you can just summon her on top of this one, and then you already have like 3 attachments underneath, so you only really got to get 7. So yeah, that's another one I run as far as her. Now another staple one in the deck as far as them is obviously Ghost Trick Alucard. Ghost Trick Alucard, I used to have 2. I'm still gonna run them with 2, but I'm only have 1 of them with them. So Ghost Trick Alucard, basically you can detach, target 1 set card in the field and destroy it. That could be either back row or a monster. So that comes in clutch as far as King. In my sense, I can get a back row. Again, it takes 3 to summon him, and he is a zombie. Just like the rest of the monsters in the deck, they're all going to be zombies, and then all the little girls are going to be spellcasters. So again, if you summon him, you can just summon her on top of him and continue on. Again, you already have 3 attachments in a sense. Cool thing about him though, when he hits the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Ghost Trick monster from your graveyard to the field. So in a way, he recycles your Ghost Trick monsters. Another staple is Ghost Trick Dullahan. Dullahan takes 2 level 1s. Dullahan, basically what it does is you can detach one XC material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster on the field, have its attack, enter the end phase. Yeah, you get to talk back. If the card sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other Ghost Trick card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So you can have your opponent's one of your opponent's cards attack and then go over it, ram it, whatever. And then if it hits the graveyard, you just bring 1 of the Ghost Trick cards from the deck to the graveyard back to your hand. And again, same thing with him. If you summon him, you can just put Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief on top, and you'll get a little head start on getting her to 10. And last but not least, as far as exceeds, I do use Down Nerd Magician. The reason I run her is just something different as far as having nothing but Ghost Tricks. It takes 2 level 4 spellcaster type monsters to summon her, or you can summon her on top of any level 3 or lower rank. So you can use these 2 or Succubus to summon, and you just put on top in a sense. So basically, she does gain attack for each card that is attached to her. She has 200 attack for each AOC monster attached to it. If this card attacks a defense piercing monster, it does get piercing damage. At the end of the turn though, after damage calculations, you have to detach one material from it. So eventually it'll start losing its boosted attack, and then she'll go back down to the 2100. But it's just pretty cool in case you just want to end the game quickly, and then you're at that point where you kind of stalled long enough and you have them all face down. You can just kind of start attacking and going for that piercing damage. So she does come in handy as far as that, but hardly a user. More just want to go for the Ghost Trick, Angel of Mischief, and win with those 10 attachments, since you stall a lot. But yeah, that's basically it for the Ghost Trick deck profile. Like I said, we are going to be doing themed profiles this month for Halloween. This first one was obviously Ghost Trick cards because it's pretty cool. Obviously ghosts, spellcasters, and zombies. So stay tuned for obviously more. We are going to be doing more deck profiles themed around the Halloween that we got going on as well. So stay tuned for that. And once again, this is Brown from Eclectic Nerds giving you my personal Ghost Trick. And again, this is just personal Ghost Trick deck profile that I do. Wouldn't recommend it using the tournaments, but hey, if you got any thoughts, any comments, any suggestions, let me know. Send them in the comments, and catch you guys next time.